there are times when the makers or the casting director get that opportunity to cast someone who belongs to a particular community or is true to the character.
Hello everyone, welcome to PeepingMoon.com. I'm Rashita Sahni, and today joining me for a super interesting conversation is Anmol Ahuja, who is the casting director of several great and iconic films that we have watched recently. The recent one being Jalsa, of course. Hi Anmol, welcome to Peeping Moon. How have you been?
I'm good. I'm good. All well with me. Hope all's well with you, every one of you
Yes.
as well.
All good here as well. And then starting off with, talking about Jalsa, I recently watched it. In fact, the day it released, I watched it. And I was also, wondering the entire time that the casting is so on point. Like, I could not think of any other actor for any of the roles that I saw in the film. So, take us through the casting process of the film and casting process in general.
Super. So, Rashita, I'm part of a company called Casting Bay, which Abhishek Banerjee, who also an actor.
Yeah,
Um, uh, so, Abhishek and I started off with this company.
correct.
So, I'll just quickly give you a glimpse about
Sure.
how what Casting Bay had always stood for,
Yeah.
and process of Jalsa and process in general. Since the time when we started the company, the idea was to be a bridge between the directors and the actors.
Hmm.
When Abhishek and I started working in the capacity of a casting director, at that point of time, casting as a department was quite new. So this I'm talking about uh, early early 2010,
Hmm.
11, when I shifted here. And both Abhishek and I have known each other from our college time. He has been a senior of mine. Uh,
Okay.
so, uh, so the whole idea behind working in the casting department was because he was an actor, is an
Hmm.
actor,
Yeah.
wanted to be an actor in the popular medium. And I was always inclined towards direction. And that's exactly what we used to do while we were part of our respective college dramatic societies. Um, so when we started working, we realized that there is a scope of a person, a department where things become more easier and a newer talent is formed. Um, with all thanks to Excel Entertainment, the Viral Fever, TVF,
Yeah.
were our initial collaborators whom we had started working with. These people were the ones who were always open to get newer talent on board. Uh, and that's how Casting Bay was born. The
Okay.
reason why we kept one name and not just calling the company by Abhishek's or my name was because we always realized that it's a team which works together, and
Correct.
inclusivity is something which we always have believed in, and that is exactly what happened during the casting of Jalsa. So I'll quickly tell you how a casting of a film happens, and then what exactly happened during Jalsa.
Yeah.
So whenever we are approached for a film or a
Hmm.
series, we read the script, we understand the world, we understand whether we are the right people to work on the film or not.
Okay.
Then we make character sketches. We make a first presentation, show the world from our point of view in terms of the faces of the actors for each character. And then post that, once the director and we are on the same page, we
Hmm.
get into the process of auditioning. Now over here, when we came to Bombay, we realized that the audition process was not something where which was done with professional ethics. So, like
Yeah.
for example, if there's an actor who's being auditioned and is being auditioned for a particular scene, then ideally for that scene to land right, he would need a co-actor, which was missing. And because
Yeah.
Abhishek has been a brilliant actor, so that's how we started our journey. Where Abhishek used to take the audition, I used to find the actors, and that's how the journey began.
Yeah.
Coming to Jalsa, Suresh Triveni and we have been working together for almost last 5 years. Post
Okay.
Tumhari Sulu,
Mm-hmm.
all his ads have been done by us,
Okay.
as in by Casting Bay.
Yeah.
Then when Jalsa happened, so this was around between the end of the first wave and just the beginning of the second wave of COVID.
Mm.
So this script came to us. Um, we read it and we knew that we have to be part of it, because it's talking about true human emotions at its core,
Yeah.
which both Abhishek and I and everyone else at Casting Bay, thrive to be part of. We really would look forward to be part of. So initially, when the script came to us, both Vidya ma'am and Shefali ma'am were cast by the producers and the director, and the rest of the casting was open to us. Uh,
Yeah.
so when we read the script, we realized that casting of Ayush,
Mm.
where we had cast Surya,
Surya. Yeah.
so we realized that casting of Ayush will be tough, but will be interesting, because uh, we all are part of history, and if we can create something which brings maybe a change for a while for someone,
Mm.
और किसी को एक बात के ऊपर बात करने का मौका मिले, so then our job is done, then it's like
Definitely.
you're part of the creative process and you're bringing a little change in the way people think, or at least they are made to think, you know
Yeah.
then so when we read the script, we knew that this role has to be played by someone who has this condition. Reason
Correct.
being, again, what I mentioned about inclusivity.
Yeah.
जहाँ पे हम
Hmm.
लोगों ने काम करना शुरू किया था, तो हमें लगा कि it'll be interesting to see
Hmm.
uh, an actor or a boy with the condition playing that part, because be it no matter how good we cast someone who
Hmm.
doesn't have this condition, no matter how good the person as an actor is, it still be acting. It'll not
Yeah.
be what a natural course of action is.
Correct. Correct. Yeah.
And that's how we began working on it. So on this film, Deepak Agarwal was my whole soul team member. So it was Deepak and Bhavesh who started with the research of
Okay.
the character of Ayush. So we started off with reaching out to different societies, different
Hmm.
places where which are working with the kids with who are differently abled.
Hmm.
And then we while the process was on, we realized the basic difference between a child with a condition of cerebral palsy and others, because every condition is different,
Correct.
and in our society, for some reason, the knowledge or the awareness of such things is
Yeah.
very limited, including
Yeah.
me. I wouldn't say, I
Definitely.
though I had earlier worked on Margarita with a Straw,
Hmm.
where the film was also dealing with a character with the
Yeah.
similar condition, but within the condition also there are different things which I had
Of
no idea
course. Yeah.
until I started working on it. And it was Suresh's vision that, because he was very clear that he wanted someone um, with this background. So we started researching, we started reaching out to kids. Now, the
Hmm.
thing is, while you're working with a kid who is aware of the whole process of auditions or acting,
Hmm.
with them, the process is very different. But with a process with kids who are coming with this background and
Hmm.
have nothing to do with acting or performance, for that matter, with them, the whole process has to be very sensitive, where
Correct.
they feel that they've not been, like, for example, because we ended up auditioning some around 150 to 200
Hmm.
kids. um, but we have to end up casting only one.
I know.
But we made sure that the heart should not be broken.
Of
Uh,
course.
any one of them, they shouldn't feel that there was a competition and they lost at some
Yeah.
level. So that included in the process when we were doing workshop with them before the
Hmm.
audition. So we used to make it very clear that ये एकदम दोस्ती है हमारी, हम खेल रहे हैं
Mm-hmm.
जैसे हम अलग अलग गेम्स खेलते हैं वैसे ये गेम है, तो इसमें कोई जीतेगा बट कोई हारेगा नहीं। तो ऐसा नहीं
Correct.
है कि कोई हार गए, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, एवरीवन इज अ विनर, बट
Yeah.
participating in it is something which is important. Luckily in today's time parents are also supportive about it.
Supportive. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Parents are also were giving us right time, right logistics to work with the kids. And yes, and that's how particularly Surya was found. Surya is this boy who lives in Texas. He's born to techie parents who shifted
Okay.
from Hyderabad to US some 4 or 5 years ago. And when we met Surya, so it was really funny that so in the script, Ayush is talking about how to bowl, and
Hmm.
we saw a similar video of Surya where he was teaching how to bat. So both the character and the
Yeah.
actor are avid follower of cricket,
Cricket.
which
Yeah.
was amazing for us. And then we got into the process of auditioning, and at one point we knew that this was our boy,
Hmm.
because the time period was such, the period was such that we were just at the peak of the second wave, so it was difficult for us to make him travel
Hmm.
all the way from US to Bombay. But all thanks to our EP Ravi Tiwari and his team, who made, and the producers at Abundancia,
Hmm.
who made it possible. Because I've been in this field, uh, um, not many times we see this kind of an effort going up.
Hmm.
So 100 points to them. As much as the credit goes to us to find the boy, it also goes to them to make sure that logistically it becomes a possibility.
Yeah.
So this is how Surya was cast. Then Maya's mother,
Hmm.
which has been played by a veteran actress, Rohini Atangari. So
Yeah.
while we were researching for this particular character, I happened to Google Vidya ma'am's mother's face. So I was like, let's
Okay.
make sure that family should look like a family. It shouldn't
Yeah.
be कहीं की ईद कहीं का रोड़ा
Hmm.
भानुमति ने
Hmm.
कुंभा जोड़ा, तो वो नहीं होना चाहिए।
Yeah.
मतलब बेटा माँ जैसा दिखना चाहिए, माँ अपनी माँ जैसी दिखनी चाहिए, सो दैट एटलीस्ट एक lineage दिखता है।
Hmm.
तो सूर्या के केस में if you'll see Vidya ma'am's profile and Surya's profile matches. Similarly was in the case of Vidya ma'am's mother. So
Yeah.
when I saw the picture, I was like, look, ma'am looks like some actor. I don't know who. I really don't know who. And that very day, in the office, I was auditioning Asim Hatangiri, who happens to be Rohini Hatangiri's son.
Okay.
And I was telling him, I was like, I'm such a big fan of your mother. And he's like, but people have started calling her for auditions. She's such a senior actor. Why auditions are needed? And then I was just trying to explain him the process, how the time has changed. But yeah, things have to be done more professionally than, because people shouldn't feel that they are being
Hmm.
insulted, or they're being
Correct.
tested, because when
Yeah.
they have such a big body of work. And I
Definitely.
was just talking to him, and I was like, "Hey, yeah, I've not seen ma'am in a while. Do you have a picture of her?" And he's like, "Yeah." So he showed it to me, and the moment he showed me the picture, I was like, "Oh wow, okay." So I told him, I was like, "Okay, just give me some time. Let me
Hmm.
discuss it with the director." I didn't mention anything to him, so like, let me
Correct.
discuss with the director.
Hmm.
I'll get back to you. And that
Okay.
very evening, we had a Zoom call with Suresh sir, and I
Hmm.
suggested this name, and it was completely he bought it, and he's like, yeah, let's send the script to ma'am, and if she's interested, let me know. So then
Hmm.
I made it clear. I was like, sir, but she's a little apprehensive about giving audition. And then he looked at it and like, are you mad? Why will I ask for an audition of such a veteran actor?
Yeah.
You please check with her. It'll be an honor to have her on board.
Yeah.
So yeah, so mutual respect is something which we have got on working on this project, and which we also see when the product has come out. So that love,
Correct.
everything you see. So casting for Rohini George was also an interesting bit. So
Yeah.
as a casting director, this is what my this is a lesson which I learned. So at times, a lot of actors calls us, and at times we are able to meet them. At times we are not
Hmm.
able to meet them. So Vidhatri is one such case
Hmm.
where Vidhatri and I have known each other for almost 10 years now.
Okay.
She used to be an assistant director
Hmm.
on the film which Abhishek and I had worked at in the
Hmm.
capacity of assistant director. So and then Vidhatri switched to learning acting. She went to
Yeah.
US to learn acting, and then she was working here, was looking for work, was looking to break into it. So one day she called me up to meet,
Hmm.
and I was like, okay, come meet me. So she came to office at around 7:30 in the evening, and I still remember. So my wife is a dentist, and she was doing my dental treatment at that point of time.
Okay.
So I told Vidhatri, I was like, okay, Vidhatri, I have an appointment at 8 o'clock.
Hmm.
Uh, and her clinic is in Lokhandwala. It'll take me 15 minutes to reach. So let's just chat for 15 minutes. Tell me what you've been up to.
Hmm.
And then she started telling me, and then she showed me a couple of clips of a short film which she did.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, the acting chops are there for sure. Then I
Hmm.
quickly took Deepak to test her for Rohini's character, because the character was from Kerala, so that
Yeah.
Mallu accent was needed.
Accent. Correct. Yeah.
So when we auditioned her for the first time, she did it with Mallu accent, which wasn't on point.
Hmm.
What we see in the film, so which wasn't on point. We shared it with Suresh sir. He saw the test. He's like, there is potential in her.
Hmm.
Uh, Ask her to do a test without any accent. Let's see how
Okay.
that. If needed be, we'll make the character from the place where she belongs to, so that it looks
Okay.
natural and we are not making fun of any particular
Huh.
community.
Yeah.
And Vidhatri, though she's a Bombay-bred
Hmm.
person, she's originally a Telugu.
Okay.
So We did one round in Hindi, and it was all bang on. And we sent it to Sir. Sir liked it. Then Vidhatri told us, she's like, "Listen, I want to try it once more with Malayalam accent." And we're like, "Okay, you do it, no worries."
Hmm.
Then a couple of days later, she came again after prepping herself with the Mallu
Yeah.
accent, and it was all bang on. It was all right there, and we were amazed that a person who's a Bombay girl, a
Yeah.
Telugu who has Telugu as her mother tongue, how can she do it with such finish? And by that time, like around that time,
Hmm.
we were looking at some more established names in the Malayalam film industry to do this part. But then we realized we really don't need we we don't need a established name, because we
Yeah.
found newer actor who's competitive enough, and
Correct.
who's fitting the part well. Then why to get into that race of casting someone only because someone is more known in the popular
Hmm.
culture? And that's how casting of Rohini George had happened. Then coming to Ruxana's family.
Yeah.
So Ruxana's daughter, it was amazing that that period was the time when TikTok was being banned,
Yeah.
and um, Sir showed us a couple of TikTok videos, those dub smashes videos, and he was like, "I basically need this from the actor. If someone can
Okay.
do this." And for me, it was like, इसमें क्या है, मतलब ये तो कोई भी कर सकता है.
Yeah.
But then when we started, नहीं, हर आदमी नहीं कर सकता है. There is some madness which is needed in this.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And then we started auditioning. So initially we just asked actors to send us their TikTok videos, as wacky as they can make
Yeah.
it to. And then Sir and his team shortlisted a couple of them. Then we started auditioning on
Hmm.
the scene, and that's how Kashish Rizwan was found. And before this, Kashish had also not done anything in the popular
Hmm.
medium. In fact, recently I got to know that Kashish also has a sister who happens to be an actor, whom I
Okay.
have known for like almost 2 years now. But I had no idea
Oh.
that Kashish was Nagma's sister.
Hmm.
मुझे पता लगा जब उसने Instagram पे डाला कि my little
Hmm.
sister has come up in this film and stuff. Uh,
Okay.
so then Kashish was found. For Shafin,
Hmm.
Deepak, my team member, started researching a lot to
Hmm.
find this right kid. And he got to know about this particular kid through McMohan's daughter, who had directed a film where Shafin had acted in, and
Okay.
Deepak happened to see the trailer of it. So he reached out to McMohan's
Hmm.
daughter, did get the number. Then and Deepak, I call him like he's like our like whenever we don't find a solution to any problem, Deepak will come up with the best solution ever.
Yeah.
Uh, so Deepak found the number and auditioned this boy,
Hmm.
and he was good. He was damn good. Then problem came with a lot of other things and logistically, but again our production was super supportive to make it happen. Now Ruxana's husband, the role which has been played by Sharad Jadhav,
Hmm.
for that particular part, I remember when Deepak came with that audition uh, to me. So there were other options as well, but there was this one actor whose audition I saw, and I had not seen him
Hmm.
ever. As a casting director, it's not a really great thing to
Hmm.
be proud about.
Yeah.
Uh, because as a casting director, it's my responsibility to know each and every actor.
Yeah.
And then I saw the test and I was like, who's this man? And then I got to know that this man used to act before, has not been acting for a while now, and
Okay.
thought that he might uh, work for the part
Hmm.
because he the part really well.
Yeah.
Before reaching out to Sharad, we also did, because the character is of a spot boy. So we also tried auditioning spot boys
Oh,
uh,
okay.
to see if we are able to, you know, cast someone with that background. And even if not, then that spot boy might give us some insights of
Hmm.
which will help us in developing the character.
Yeah.
Uh, तो वो पहला वाला चीज तो नहीं हुआ, हम कास्ट नहीं कर पाए because most of these people were super shy in front of camera, and have not done acting before, because at the end of the day it's a form of art, you
Yeah.
know. But we got to know a lot of insight of their life, which we added in the process of auditions, and which has also been included in the film. And that's how Sharad was cast. Then More and Ghanshyam's role. So for More, there was someone else, but because I had and things didn't work out with that actor, uh, then we were in a sort of a limbo, that whom to approach, because we had auditioned a lot of people for that part. And the thing was with More's character was that, like, looking at that face, one should feel that this man is an honest man. This man has not uh, his body, and with honest people, you see, even if they are
Yeah.
getting
Yeah.
from a bus, you'll know that you
You get that vibe. Yeah.
hold honesty at its core.
Yeah.
And because I had worked with Shrikant Dada earlier on America and several other projects, so we just thought, like, let's audition him. Let's audition him to see what best can come out of this character, because he's a good actor.
Hmm.
Then probably we'll use those things to audition others. That's
Yeah.
the idea. But he did it so well that he was cast. Then Ghanshyam is someone whom I have seen a lot on Prithvi's stage. He does theater with Kumud Mishra,
Yeah.
and I'm a big fan of Kumud Kaka. So I don't think I've not seen any of his, like, I've missed any of his plays. Um,
Okay.
uh, so that's how I knew about Ghanshyam, and we auditioned him, and he was found. Iqbal Khan was someone. For Amar's part. So for Amar, we reached out uh, to actual media honchos, to actors doing English theater, to to like to everyone, and it wasn't working. It wasn't working. It wasn't working for some reason or the other. Uh, and one day I happened to see Saqib Salim's series where Iqbal Khan has done a part, and then Deepak also mentioned about him. So we're like, okay, let's see, let's audition him. He's a television. He has been a television actor, but let's see if something can be figured out. And Iqbal Khan has done like much bigger
Yeah.
media, but he was all up for auditioning for this, and this happened, and we knew that our Amar, we have our Amar with us. Uh, Arnav was cast because we needed someone to play Vidya ma'am's husband, and because in Tumhari Sulu,
Yeah.
Suresh sir had worked with him, so he just requested, and Manav, because he's always been supportive towards his pet friends, so he agreed to do it. So that's how the small little world of Jalsa was created, even for a smaller part, like for uh, uh, the son whom you see, who plays Vijay Nikam's son, Tushant.
Mm.
Actually,
Yeah.
Tushant is a filmmaker. He has directed a Marathi film,
Okay.
and the girl who played the broker in what
Mm-hmm.
she comes.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So that girl works with one of our senior, Gautam Kishan Chandani, as his casting assistant, and uh,
Oh,
and it was completely Deepak's idea. Earlier, the role was written for a man, but he was like, "Why can't a female be a broker? It'll be interesting
yeah,
to." And that's how the world of Jalsa was created.
correct. Fantastic, beautifully explained. In fact, I just have one quick question on that. That you explained how Surya was cast as Ayush Menon, and how you made sure that everyone felt comfortable and no one felt like the other kids felt like we lost or something like that. As a casting director, does your process end when you have cast an actor, or because I want to really know this, that how did you manage to make everyone on set very comfortable with Surya, and Surya, most importantly, feel that he's at his place, feel him at home, and not any pressure. How did you manage to do that?
So the credit for this part of the process doesn't go to
Hmm.
us. It
Correct.
completely goes to Suresh Trivedi and
Yeah.
his team. Um, so um, just one second, just one second.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So completely goes to them. So what they did was, usually what happens is, ma'am, that whenever we cast an actor,
Hmm.
if that actor has not been part of a workshop of the film, then that actor directly lands up on the set of his day one of shoot.
Hmm.
Uh, the interaction is limited with the crew. In case of Surya, what Suresh sir did was beautiful. That they got him here
Hmm.
uh, much before the shoot for a workshop,
Okay.
which was conducted by Pooja
Hmm.
Sarup and Suresh sir.
Yeah.
So with Surya, he in to Surya, he introduced everyone in the film,
Okay.
be it the producer, be it the cinematographer, Saurabh Goswami, be it
Hmm.
anyone, the AD, so that the child is not meeting any stranger during the shoot.
Yeah.
He made the whole process so friendly for him
Hmm.
that it became like a sort of a family reunion sort of a thing,
Yeah.
so that which is seen also in between the scenes of Ruxana and Ayush,
Hmm.
where you see the bond being there,
Yeah.
Uh, so it completely everything was designed by Suresh sir, and post us casting the actor, it was the credit goes to him to make him comfortable with the whole process. Also, we were shooting in on a during the peak of second. We started post the
Okay.
second wave was over, but the workshop started a little before that. But also the weather was not in our support, so we had to be sure about
Hmm.
his being, because shoots can be tedious at times.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
even the shoot was planned in a way where the timing, when for according to his preference, was marked.
Hmm.
And yeah, the whole idea was, of the workshop, that he becomes familiar with people and with the character, and he does it the way Surya will do it,
Yeah.
and how Surya eventually will become Ayush. So that was the idea.
Okay, perfect. Uh, Anmol, even when I think in 2020 when Patal Lok released, I was talking to Abhishek about the entire process because he did cast for it and he was a part of it as an actor as well. I have always believed that Casting Bay as an agency has always been very inclusive and also has thought of sort of breaking these stereotypes that have been there in Bollywood for a long time. For example, casting a transgender for the role of a transgender. You guys did it in Patalok. Now, this has suddenly become, I don't think anyone, people did notice it back when Patalok released, but it did not become a big topic of discussion. Rather, what did become was that Abhishek is a part of it and he is a casting director. So that sort of became a point. But now that Bollywood films are coming in where trans actors are not cast in the role of transgenders, people are sort of becoming, very offensive about it and talking about it right now. You guys did it first, I feel. How do you feel about this entire thing as an agency being so inclusive and giving opportunities to the people who actually need it?
Yeah. So, ma'am, the thing is, in fact, what you had mentioned for a long period, I was thinking about it. So, what
Hmm.
happens is, whatever said and done, our entertainment industry is a star-driven industry. If there is a known face working on something, uh, and this is a reality, and I don't shy away from accepting it, that you get more eyeballs. So uh, there are times when the makers or the casting director get that opportunity to cast someone who belongs to a particular community, or is true to the character.
Yeah,
At times you cannot do it because the whole system of making more, because filmmaking is an expensive business. It's not a cheap business, um, so the idea always should be that whether someone from a community who's doing it, great. If not, then at least make it in a way that it's sensitive towards that community's emotions. Because end
correct.
of
Yeah.
the day, if we see in India, especially, all these things are still a taboo. I was on a lunch table with someone yesterday in Delhi, and I mentioned about Badhai Do, and I enjoyed the film from direction to acting to everything.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it because I'm a big fan of Bhumi and
Hmm.
Rajkumar, not only them as actors but also as human beings. I'm not saying that, but I thoroughly enjoyed the film because the film talks about such an important issue in our society, which still is a taboo in 2022. And the gentleman on the chair next to mine mentioned that, "Arey, wo to bahut hi bekar tha," and then started talking to the other man who happens to be come from a background of medicine. अरे
Okay.
इसका कोई साइंस में इलाज नहीं है क्या? So the thing is, imagine
Okay.
when
Yeah.
you have popular faces like Rajkumar Bhumi doing these parts,
Hmm.
talking about such an important issue. Even then,
Yeah.
uh, some part of the audience is realizing it, some part still not. Uh,
Correct.
so uh, how अगर इन्हीं रोल्स में कोई कंप्लीटली अननोन होता, तो
Hmm.
शायद तो जो पार्ट जिसको मैं बिलोंग करता हूँ,
Yeah.
जिनका जिनको इशू के बारे में समझ आया या
Hmm.
इश्यूज के बारे में समझ आया, बिकॉज एंड ऑफ द डे दे आर ऑल्सो ह्यूमन बींग्स.
Yeah.
It's not, it's, and it's a free world, so everyone has a right
Completely.
to live the way they want to. So imagine if someone completely unknown would have been there, even I wouldn't have gone to watch the film. I ended up watching the film because it had Rajkumar. So there
Mm-hmm.
are times when you have that liberty to be true to its sense. At
Yeah.
times you have to do it the other way. But whenever you're doing the other way, uh, important is that you remain true to its natural sense, which in case of Badhai Do
Hmm.
was there was popular happened, because when I saw the film, and I have a lot of friends from that community,
Okay.
um, and my friends do walk like that. So the body language which Rajkumar and
Hmm.
Bhumi had, I
Yeah.
there was not even a moment when I felt that um, it's fake in any
Yeah.
manner.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you know so that's interesting. And I'll be honest to you, because in our society, things like these are not spoken about, or issues are
Correct.
not are always like छुपा दो, मत बात करो,
Yeah.
रहने दो. uh, and I come from a typical Punjabi, upper middle class Punjabi family. So मेरे यहाँ पर भी ये होता था, लेकिन मेरा दिल चेंज हुआ है. मुझे मतलब
Of course.
मतलब I would talk to a person, and with more, I won't say um, uh, looking down upon anyone. No,
Hmm.
not at all. But with more sensitive eye, because everyone should be part of the society, and that's how.
Hmm.
That's the reason why human beings are called social animals. Otherwise,
Correct.
was so yeah. So that's
Definitely. Agree to that as well. Okay, great. Thank you so much, Anmol, for chatting with us. You literally gave us a lot of insights of the entire casting process and how it's done. So it was an interesting conversation. Thank you for having it with us.
Thank you so much for having me here.
You're most
Thank
welcome.
you.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.